Hey, hope you're having a great day so far. Today is February 22nd, Monday, and on this post, I'll be telling you about the overall crypto markets very quickly, which includes Bitcoin dominance and Bitcoin price action, and see how it could potentially affect the overall altcoin markets in the short-term future, before diving into Civic, CVC, USDC, and see what exactly has gone on in this market. I'll be telling you about the bullish and bearish case scenarios for today, as well as the short-term price prediction on this market according to what I'm seeing on the charts. Before I begin today, please do subscribe to my channel and like this video as I'll be keeping you updated on the latest crypto setups on my watch list, regardless if it's a good day or a bad day. If you guys want to support me and don't already have a Webull brokerage account, you guys can use my referral link down below. They're still giving away 2 free stocks as of today upon a successful sign up and a qualifying deposit of $100, and I will also receive a referral bonus if you guys sign up under me. Please do also read my full disclaimer below. I am not a financial advisor and this is not financial advice. I'm purely sharing my own speculations opinions on this market. I cannot tell you the future, and you should always do your own due diligence before trading or investing in this market as it's extremely risky and volatile. If you guys have any questions or comments, please do only leave them in the comment section below. But I'll try my best to get to as many of them as possible. Now, see what exactly is going on in this market. First, most importantly, if you take a look into Bitcoin dominance, tells me what the money could be trading into would be Bitcoin, altcoins, or neither. Now, on the daily time frame, it's still my focus for Bitcoin dominance. Today, we do have Bitcoin dominance up very slightly, about 0.2%. This breaks down to Bitcoin price action down about 5.4%, while total altcoin market cap down about 6%. Now, this is the downside of Bitcoin dominance trending upwards, where I will usually see total altcoin market cap dumping harder than Bitcoin price action. I usually emphasize Bitcoin dominance to trend downwards, which is generally speaking better for the altcoins on both the upside and downside. Because on the upside of Bitcoin dominance trending downwards, I will usually see total altcoin market cap leading in gains ahead of Bitcoin price action. And on the downside, total altcoin market cap not as affected by Bitcoin pullbacks. Now let's take a look into the daily time frame here, which is still my focus as I've been saying, because I do see a possible inverse head and shoulders pattern that is still developing. If this pattern actually completely develops and plays out, Bitcoin dominance is expected to change course and actually trends back up. And per what I was saying, not as great for the altcoin price action. Okay. Now the next hint I am looking for to see if this pattern actually plays out or not is seeing if the price action here actually comes back up to the 64.25% fib level, okay? Because if it does, as we have seen already quite a bit of retests back to this level, this would build this neckline for this inverse head and shoulders pattern, and it's more confirmation that Bitcoin dominance will actually trend back up in the near future. Let's take a look at the Bitcoin price action now and see what exactly could be going on. Bitcoin price action here had a dump earlier today from about 57.5K down all the way to about 47.4. Okay, almost got to the daily 21 MA before rebounding. Okay, and this has brought down a lot of the altcoins down with it. Now let's see if this dump actually continues. If this dump continues, I would expect more bearish effect on the altcoin price action. The magnitude of that effect would depend on how far up or down Bitcoin dominance is trending. I also want to point out on Bitcoin price action here, on the monthly time frame here, we have about 6 more days to go, okay, for Bitcoin here. Notice that we are not even up to last month's buyer volume, okay, for this month's candle, even if I extrapolated 6 days out, okay. This tells me it's a warning signal because we could be running out of buyers for Bitcoin in the short-term future or in the short term, okay. So this is something I'll be keeping an eye out on and see if more buyers come into the market. If not, it could be that the Bitcoin price action will be pulling back next month, okay. That's what I'm looking out for. Now let's take a look into CVCUSDC. First things first, I'm going to take a look into the monthly time frame down to the daily time frames. These are the macro time frames I will consider and look at their RSIs and look for any possible overbought RSI readings or bearish divergence scenarios. Now, for CVC here, I do want to point out, because what I said for Bitcoin price action, okay, on the monthly time frame here, it seems like if I do extrapolate this volume out to about 6 more days, we would have more volume than the last month's buyer volume, okay. In this case, I do see it as a better sign compared to what I see on the Bitcoin price action on the monthly buyer volume. Okay, this tells me this month's close at least, okay, for this month, that there are still more buyers coming in, okay, but I'll still be keeping an eye out on the buyer volume on a larger time frame, such as the monthly here. Now, RSI reading about 89, okay, so that's pretty overbought. Some type of pullback is not unreasonable, okay. Now, there's still, not to say that this cannot keep going, but we are on a scale of 1 to 100 on the RSI, and we are currently about 89, okay. So I'm going to weigh out the upside potential versus the downside potential, even though it could be on a bull run, okay. Now, let's take a look. I don't see possible bearish divergence here on the monthly time frame, so let's take a look on the weekly time frame here. Weekly time frame, we do have an RSI reading of about 82, slightly under, and possible bearish divergence scenario for the next high it makes on the weekly time frame, if it makes a new high, because the last high had an RSI reading of about 93. So the next high the weekly time frame actually makes does need to beat an RSI of 93 to avoid bearish divergence, okay. 3-day time frame here. Possible bearish divergence scenario with 75 RSI reading, so slight overbought there. However, the next high it actually makes on the 3-day time frame does need to beat a RSI reading of about 83 to avoid bearish divergence on the 3-day time frame here. Daily time frame, pretty similar narrative, except the last high's RSI reading have a RSI reading of about 878. However, we are currently about 59.60 right now, so it does need to make a pretty decent move on the RSI in order to negate possible bearish divergence on the daily time frame as well. So let me do a reiteration of what I just said right now. On the monthly time frame, we are in very overbought territory, about 90, okay, 88, I think. No possible bearish divergence scenario on the monthly time frame. From the weekly down to the daily time frame, some overbought RSIs and possible bearish divergence scenarios on some of these time frames as well. So some things I'll be looking out for, because those could be bearish signals. Now let's take a look into a smaller time frame here. Let's actually just come down to the daily time frame here, where I can see this more clearly. And let me illustrate what happened with my last post. Last post, I estimated that there was a smaller falling wedge pattern. Okay, however, that did not play out, as the price action did bounce out of the pattern before it hits the second trend line, the bottom trend line here, to complete that smaller falling wedge pattern. So let's discard this and see what else we could actually be dealing with here. So what I see right now is a bigger falling wedge pattern. Okay. I'm going to just leave these. Actually, let me take them out. Now I do see a bigger falling wedge pattern here. Now this falling wedge pattern has been validated, because we do have 2 sets of swings up and 2 sets of swings down, unlike the last falling wedge pattern I had estimated, which was not validated without that second swing down, okay, and that did not occur. So right now I am seeing a bigger falling wedge pattern here. Now, falling wedge patterns are generally bullish patterns. 68% chance of it breaking upwards, according to Thomas Bukowski and his website, thepatternSite.com. You guys can verify that source on your own, or verify it with another source. Okay. Now, if this price action, this pattern actually plays out, and this is a validated falling wedge pattern. Let's take into consideration of if breaking out by February 25th, because that will also take into consideration of this resistance being broken, this fib level being broken at about 42 cents. Okay. The measured target, if it actually does break out by February 25th, I do see a measured target here of about 74 cents as far as I can read it. Now, measured targets are theoretical approximate targets only, may actually be different in real life price action, more or less. I also do want to point out that even though it looks like we have a bullish pattern here, I still want to caution the RSIs I had just read out on that larger time frames there, okay, because they could still be bearish signals with overbought RSIs on the larger time frame and with possible bearish divergence scenarios. So I would not lose track of those bearish signals I had just pointed out at the beginning of this analysis, even though it looks like we have a bullish pattern here. Now, let's take a look into the bullish and bearish case scenarios. Bullish case scenario, price action breaks out of this validated falling wedge pattern and go towards its measured target. Let's take a look and see if we have any overhead resistances above this pattern. So the hourly moving averages are actually all within the pattern, so that's good. 4 hour are all within the pattern, that's good. 6 hour looks like it for now. It looks like the 6 hour 50 MA, which is the white line right here, could be coming, could be upward sloping and breach the upward trend line of this pattern. So something I would not lose track of, because even if it looks like the price action has broken out of this pattern, if this moving average actually comes above the pattern here, it could still be acting as lingering resistance. 12 hour as well, it's upward sloping, so it could actually breach the upper trend line of this pattern. So something I would not lose track of. 6 hour 50, 12 hour 21 right now. Now this is the bullish case scenario. Price action breaks above this pattern and go towards its measured targets. However, look out for the 6 hour 50 and the 12 hour 21 that could be upward sloping and breach the upward trend line of the pattern. Bearish case scenario here, price action breaks its bottom trend line. It looks like we had already been supported by the daily 21 MA, so let's look for the next level of support below this bottom trend line. The 12 hour 50 is also within the pattern. So it looks like the next level of key support I'll be looking at will be the daily 50 MA, which looks like it could catch up to the bottom trend line here and possibly keep this falling wedge pattern intact. But if it does not, then I could be looking at another pattern that's not this falling wedge pattern instead. Okay, so there needs to be reevaluation there if the bottom trend line gets broken and does not get support to actually keep this falling wedge pattern shape intact. Now, these are my bullish and bearish case scenarios for today. Let me know if you found it helpful. Give me a thumbs up if you did. Let me know agreements, disagreements, feedback. I'd love to hear them. Hope you manage your risk carefully. And if you would like to see any more of my most recently uploaded videos on YouTube, you guys can check out my links up here on YouTube. See you next time.